Welcome back. All right, so 2 games to recap. The 2 matinee games are done. I had thought about doing one video for each, and I thought, nope, I'll make them one video. Both games together. There are 11 games tonight. I've already got the boards all set up for those, so I'm ready to go. That starts a little bit more than an hour from now. All right, so we're going to start off talking about the Blues and Nashville. One of these teams had something to play for, and you could tell. What's interesting is Nashville dealing with a lot of injuries. This was really impressive, thus the Nashville jersey, because they're dealing with a lot of guys being hurt right now. So it's Grace versus Saros. The early edge was to Nashville. They came out with that good jump. Preds with the edge. The Blues, though, defending pretty well to this point in the game. Does not stay that way. Shots are 2-1 Nashville at 4.5 minutes. But then on a face-off win, Novak backhands one past Thomas Greiss at 4:46 from Evangelista. Now, Evangelista, pretty good since being called up and getting in there. With all the injuries, he's playing a more prominent role, and he looks fantastic. So, Nashville get a power play not long after that, and Cody Glass scores from Novak and Evangelista at 7:20. So there's Luke Evangelista again. Krug then hits the crossbar. The Preds clear. Blues play was picking up in the second half. Not that they're getting shots on net. And this is the problem for the Blues in that first period and then later in the third as well. Blaine versus Smith takes place. They qualified that as roughing. I don't know why it didn't count as a fight, but hey, roughing, that's fine. So the Blues come out of that with a power play. That's killed off. No shots. Blues press are kept to the outside. 2:19 left. There's a power play for Nashville. The Blues don't let them set up. It was a better penalty kill than the first, and that's killed off. So we're going to the second period with Nashville up 2-0. Nashville presses 2.5 minutes in. Jankowski has a rush chance that's saved. We get more pressure by Nashville. They're leading in shots, 3-0, 3.5 minutes into the period. We then get a power play for St. Louis. Vrana has a shot that's blocked. They cycle. That's killed off. Sherwood goes back to the box. So Sherwood, in the midst of what was kind of a rough part of the game for him, but he had a really good game overall. So the Blues get a power play. However, on a turnover, it's posted in. Colton Sissons at 7:36. So that shorthanded goal makes it 3-0. It then becomes 20 seconds of a 5-on-3. 5-on-3 is prominent in both of these games today. And then it's a solid penalty kill for Nashville. 5-on-3 and then 5-on-4. Really not much in the way of good chances for St. Louis at all. That was killed off. Tomasino then has a tip shot that saved. The Blues clear, but Evangelista would bury a rebound at 13:27 from Sherwood and Novak. Preds look for another. Walker has a shot that deflects high as the Blues press. Things get punchy and pushy on a hold by Saros. The Preds come out of that with a power play. The Preds score. It's reviewed for a high stick. Yeah, it was no goal. And you could tell in real time that was going to come back. Blues then finish the kill. So it's 4-0 in favor of Nashville after 2. The only question I had left was, am I going to be using my No Mercy magnet or not? Third period. Post for Glass. The Blues rush. There's a press by Nashville at 2.5 minutes. Things get pushy on a hold by Greiss. Preds continue to control the game. Asplund has a shot that's blocked. The Blues can't clear it out. Sissons then has a tip shot that's held. And then Rosen puts one in that goes in off Saros. It was actually going to go wide. Toropchenko with the assist at 8:36. So that ruins the shutout, makes it 4-1. Jankowski then has a wraparound that's saved, but there's a turnover, and it's in the back of the net for St. Louis. Trennan at 11:49. Then with 2:41 left, Nashville gets a power play, and they score on that. It's Tomasino from Barry and Novak at 18:06. So Nashville cruises to a 6-1 victory. They go to 38, 29, and 8 on the season. St. Louis 35, 35, and 6 with the loss. Shots on net, 10-3 Nashville in the first, 15-10 St. Louis in the second, and then 15-4 Nashville in the third. So St. Louis liked the long change. Not that they got any goals with it, but they had more shots. Overall, the shots are 35-22 for Nashville. Power play St. Louis 0-4, Nashville 2-4. The hits 20-17 St. Louis. Greiss saves 29 out of 35. Saros saves 21 out of 22. Entertaining game. Also an entertaining game, Boston and Pittsburgh. So, Swayman versus Jari in this one. So, Ullmark's not playing. So, you're playing the backup. Bergeron, not in the lineup. It's a maintenance day. He probably plays tomorrow. Bad news, I believe they're playing the Blues tomorrow. They get Ullmark and probably Bergeron back in the lineup. So, good early back and forth in this one. Pittsburgh had to be pretty happy about the fact that Bergeron wasn't out there, and that meant moving around your centers and everything. But the Bruins still did pretty well. So, Pasternak is a net drive that's defended. The Bruins press at 3 minutes. There's a power play then for Boston. They were 3 for their last 27 coming into this game. Gets a little better today. McAvoy scores with 1 second left in the power play, but they all count as power play goals. Zacha and Bertuzzi with the assists at 6:20. It was a one-timer from the side of the net. No chance for Jari on that one. And then at 7:33, on their first shot, they get a goal. It's Brian Rust from Crosby and Friedman. The Penguins then look for the lead. The shots are 7-1 for Boston, 9 minutes into the period. Raquel's denied on a net drive. There's a press then by Pittsburgh. Delay game call. The Bruins get a power play. It can't get set up. It's killed off just the one shot during that power play. Gensel, 2:45 left. The Penguins get a power play. Hathaway and Zucker were unfriendly as well. That was killed off. Gensel's then denied on a fast break. With 3.9 seconds left, Boston gets another power play. So that rolls over into the second period. Pastrnak has a shot that's held. There's a shorthanded wraparound chance for O'Connor. That was blocked. And then Pastrnak scores from Orlov at 1:41. That is the 100th point of the season for Pastrnak. First time in his career he's done that. Kudos to him for that. And this is why he makes the big bucks. This is why they signed him to that big contract. Remember when he signed that, people were like, I don't know if he deserves more money than, yeah, he is their best forward. And he's their MVP this year. Despite what Ullmark's done, I would give the MVP to Pastrnak, and today's a perfect example of why. Greer fires one wide from the slot. Malkin has a turnover chance. That's saved. There's a press by Pittsburgh, 4 minutes in. But the shots on net are 6-3 Boston, 5.5 minutes in. Press by the Penguins at 8 minutes, but the Bruins block out. They clear. Orlov has a shot that's blocked as the Bruins press. Next goal seemed to loom large, and Swayman not giving up a lot in the way of rebounds at this point in the game. If he sees it, he saves it, and he holds on to it. Things get pushy on a hold by Swayman. Marchand can't bury one in close. Crosby and Rust are both denied on a break. So Swayman didn't face a ton of shots through those first couple of periods, but man, when Pittsburgh got a chance, it was a pretty darn good one. So there's definitely some work to be done by Jim Montgomery, despite the gaudy record of the Boston Bruins. Archibald has a shot that's saved. That was on a 2-on-1. We then get a power play for the Penguins. It becomes a 5-on-3 for 45 seconds. Pittsburgh calls a timeout, but Boston, whatever they discussed during that timeout, seemed to have worked because it was a really solid kill by Boston. They had some shorthanded opportunities, and they kill it off. So after 2 periods, it's 2-1 Boston. And of course, they're really hard to beat when they have a lead after 2 periods. I kind of throw that to the side because I'm aware Boston's already clinched the President's Trophy. Pittsburgh's fighting for their playoff lives. So I expect a big period in the third from Pittsburgh. And scoring-wise, we get one. But when you look at the shots at the end, we really didn't. So third period, the Bruins press 2 minutes in. Grzelcyk has a bank attempt that fails. He tried to bank it off the boards and out to the front and just fails there. Greer has a net drive that's defended. Orlov has a shot that's saved. The rebound's cleared. Pastrnak tries the spinorama. That one doesn't go for him. Penguins rush, and the horn sounded for a goal before the referee announced it was a goal. Before anything else, like, yeah, that's a goal. And it was. Rust gets that one at 4:09. So it ends up going in off McAvoy. That's McAvoy's fault. Definitely not on Swayman. Bruins then look to answer. The shots on net are 3-1 Bruins at 6 minutes. So they're not giving Pittsburgh very much in the way of chances. But again, when your own defenseman's knocking it into your net, they don't need a ton of chances. Pastrnak says goal during the play. Play continues. We've seen this a lot lately, and this reminds us why we need to have instant replay. So about 20 seconds after that one went in and, Pastrnak was celebrating that's a goal, they review it, and it's a goal. At 7:07, it's Pastrnak from Zacha and Grzelcyk, and it's the same story. If it hits the back bar in the back of the net, comes straight back out. From the point of view of the referee, he likely thought it hit the crossbar. So all of a sudden, Boston has a 3-2 lead. O'Connor fires one wide on a rush. Pasternak's hat trick attempt is saved and held. The Penguins tie it. It's a goalie interference challenge. I didn't see enough there. I didn't. My favorite part is they call in Dave Jackson and hedge. Well, I think, yeah, probably, maybe, sure. We'll see what they say. We'll see. And I like Dave Jackson, but you can tell he's kind of like, I don't want to give 100% answer because if I differ with the refs on this, and he did. It counts. So the Penguins come out with the power play. Gensel gets that one to tie it from Dumoulin and Rust at 12:30. I've seen a lot of people hanging Jackson out to dry for his takes on TV, but I get it. I totally get it. He's part of the referee union. Like, you don't want to say, it's a stupid call. What was that about? You don't want to do that on TV, and I don't blame him. Anyways, shorthanded DeBrusque shot is blocked. They kill it off. Boston's penalty kill was absolutely on point, or Pittsburgh's power play wasn't very good. Depends on your point of view in this. Penguins draw another power play. Zacha was denied shorthanded. That's killed off. And then a one-timer from the slot, and it's a hat trick. Pastrnak scores that one from Krejci and Zacha at 17:34. That is your hat trick goal. My favorite part was the announcer saying on a whistle, there's been some debris thrown on the ice, and then realizes it's hats. It's Boston fans throwing hats on the ice. So, yeah, 56th goal of the season for Pastrnak. He honestly, of the Boston Bruins, for me, is their MVP. He is the guy that early in the season, when they got off to that really fantastic start, a lot of it was on his back. Where Boston didn't necessarily play a better game, but he did. And so he drags them to that result. Goalie pull happens, and then with 56.4 seconds left, it becomes a 6-on-4. And it's actually Pastrnak that goes to the box. So he's still very important to the game. Now for the Penguins cycle, but they couldn't get to the net. The Bruins hang on. So your final score is 4-3 for Boston. They go to 59, 12, and 5. So 123 points. They've passed Florida's mark from last year. And the Penguins 37, 29, and 10. And now Florida, they owe a gift basket to Boston because, Florida's only 1 point below the playoff line, and now they've watched Pittsburgh lose today. Shots on net, 12-4 Boston in the first, 12 apiece in the second, and then 11-4 Boston in the third. And that might be the more discouraging thing for Pittsburgh fans, is that they really needed this game, and in the end, they only had 4 shots in the third period. When things looked definitely shaky when they were able to get to the net. Final shots are 35-24 for Boston. Power plays the Bruins 2 for 3. Pittsburgh 0 for 6. The hits 38-29 for Pittsburgh. Swayman saves 21 out of 24. And Jari saved 31 out of 35. Both goalies were good today. Pittsburgh just couldn't get to the net enough in the third period. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.